So I just had a powerful talk with one of my church sisters, and she know me oh so well. And let me tell you something that I say. When I go to church, I'm gonna be honest and tell the truth. I really don't want to congregate with nobody. I don't really want to hold no conversation with nobody because certain church people are fake. Let's just be honest and let's keep it real. But if I know my life outside of church and I'm very worldly, why would I want to bring that inside the church? So for me, I like to keep things separated. But I'm gonna tell you this, and I was thinking about not going back into the church because I'm like, I don't feel like I'm welcome. Because let me just tell you something. Every Sunday I'm gonna be fashionable late. And I'm late on purpose because I don't want to hear them sing. I don't want to hear the church announcements. I just want to hear the word and keep it moving. That's just me. I don't want to be interpersonal. I don't want to have a greeting. I don't want none of that. However everybody else worship, that's your business. But for me, this is what I'm calling. This is for what I need. And the thing about it is too, before I started back going to this church, I had left this church. I was going to this church years and years and years ago, and I left for reasons that was known to the church because everybody was having these same issues. And it's funny how when God bring you back to the same place you left. So in my head, I'm like, if I'm there for a reason, and this is my thing too, when a lot of people be preaching, I wonder who they preaching to, and I wonder what they preaching from, because I think when people be preaching, they be preaching from their own understanding. And this is me, how I live my everyday life. Like, I used to be one of these people to be like, you shouldn't do it this way, and this should be the way you should do things. And I realize is that we are all individuals. It's no right way of handling your business. If this what works for you, it works for you. And I feel like when people go to church, it just seems like they giving you rules that they formulated. They giving you their personal understanding of how they interpret the Bible and things like that. Because I'm quite sure if we all sit down and read the Bible, we're going to have our own interpretation of what we feel, how things are broken down, and what we should do. And that's just how I am as a person. Like, I try to be as open-minded as I can, and I don't want to be led by certain individuals. Like, I just don't want to be led. I want to be able to understand God in my own way of thinking, which I know sometimes my way is not the right way, but what is the right and wrong way? And then we always talking about God is a forgiving God and he forgive us for our sins. Well, you turn back around and tell us to not to commit no sins. So which one is he? I'm just saying. I'm just saying, and I'm just speaking my truths and trying to get an understanding of what it is and how can it be. Because one of the reasons why I decided to go to church, because I realized is that it was something that I need to do. I needed to hear his word. I needed to hear his word from somebody else. And also, too, I had to literally sit down and pray that God take any illness out of my heart for some of the people that I go to church with, because I know these people. And that's another thing, too. Like, you know, you go to church with some people and you could just see it on their face that, oh, I really don't like you. Oh, I really don't care for you. And me being me, I'm trying to understand, like, what is the reason why these in particular people don't care for me? Like, once again, I don't congregate with nobody in the church. So is it the way I dress? Is the way I wear my hair? Is the color of my skin? And I really do think it's the color of my skin. But let me throw you in a loop right quick. The color of my skin is very, you know, I don't know. It's just, I feel like I'm dark in some places. I'm caramel in other places. Dark caramel, by the way. Yes. Anyway. And these are people that's darker than me. When I tell you damn near blue, black. And I be like, what is the issue of me being who I am? Now, when I first walked into this church, I used to wear skinny jeans. This was, as y'all know, this was 10 years ago when skinny jeans first came out. Everybody was wearing them. I didn't know no better. Let me be honest, tell the truth. I knew better, but it wasn't, you know, I don't know. I wasn't underneath my mom or my grandmother wing. I was like doing my own thing. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to church. Come as you are. You always say that. But as I got more and more into church, I started to follow certain rules and certain, you know, this covering of being a woman. And I understand, and it made me feel so good because I was coming into it. When I started dressing a certain way, people started talking to me more. Let me make you understand something. I don't give a care if I wear a turban, a dress that's unrevealing, or some skinny legs. I'm still the same me, okay? I'm not changing because I got something on. This is who I am. Don't let this dress fool you, or don't let them skinny jeans fool you. And that's what I'm just saying. Like, I just think, like, it's so much bias when coming down to going to church instead of letting people be who they are and come as they are. The more and more and more they conform to the word, whether they Christian, Baptist, Apostolic, whoever they want to worship, they're gonna come into their calling, and things are gonna be stripped. Things are gonna fall off easily. I just dislike today's society when it comes down to you trying to worship God and going into the sanctuary. Like, from my understanding is that God do not dwell in the house of a man. And no, I'm not a preacher. I'm just being real about it. Like, me just going to church, and I just really want to go to church for that in particular reason. I don't want to go to church and be ridiculed. I don't want to go to church and be judged for who I am. And I don't want